Hello, welcome back to BLENDERSUSHI live loading. In this episode, we're gonna take a look at this setup that I did. It's basically involving grease pencil and then sound audio that we resample, and then from that sound we use the strength of the sound to control the strength of these randomization lines. So yeah, it's fairly simple. You can do this in the hard way or in the easier way. So I have two kind of setup. The first one is the simple one. If you see the one on the right side, this is basically for this you just need a couple of nodes. So you just you draw something using grease pencil, just few strokes, and then you convert that into a curve, and then you bring it into Sverchok. And in Sverchok, you apply the transformations using matrix apply, and then you use this randomize input vertices. So the idea is just by using the strength of the sound. This is actually looking at animation nodes, and from animation nodes is sampling the sound, and then we bring it into Sverchok and then output the strength of the sound. And in here we actually kind of cheating slightly. The noise itself actually already happening in the background, but as the sound trigger, as the sound get louder, it triggers the noise and make it make the displacements of the lines a bit stronger. So the nice thing about the bake sound is we can just scrub it in the timeline. So you can see this is when the sound is happening, and it's kind of disturbing the lines in the random fashion. And then once it's the sound goes down, the lines goes back to the original. It's kind of the sound is settling. So I'm using the sound wave from the other day, so you can see that. If we want to make this more elaborate, we can make it so that the sound wave actually traveling through these stroke lines, each one of them. That can be something that can be done maybe a little bit later. I have a second setup here that's slightly looking more complex. If you see above here, I have quite a few nodes. Not that complicated, but still yeah, still simple actually. What I'm making above is actually just like this randomized input vertices, but I'm using noise here. So I can pick from this different noise, and then with this setup above, I actually allow these lines to have a instance of lines, so I can have multiple lines. So let's say if I specify 5 lines, each lines have a different noise traveling through, and then so you have this kind of effects. So if I play back, so that's the effects of multiple lines. If I have just a single line, it's just like that. Yeah, it's I guess it's kind of neat kind of effect. So you can let's say if we create something real quick. Oh yeah, by the way, up here I actually allow the input to be grease pencil, and I can change it to circle if I want. So I plug that in, vertices, and then edges. Now I get this line, and I can still control the radius, vertices, and whatever. I wonder if I can just use a range float here and plug this into this guy and make multiple lines. Yeah, that's actually kind of working nicely as well. So the process will be like if I start from scratch, I'll use animation nodes and doing a resampling of the sound. First of all, I'm gonna load a new sound. Let's pick one. I made few random sound last night, and then I think we can use this one, Bradufu. And we just need a single sound data. We don't need to bake equalizer data, so just bake just a single data. It should be pretty fast. And then once done, just pick the sound, and this gonna, of course, gonna move this single vertices. And the single vertices is something Sverchok can read. So it's just like that. It's very, very simple. Now switch back to Sverchok. In here, and make sure in the video sequence editor that we don't have the extra sound. Of course, you can use multiple sound in the different layers, and you can have like a different node tree to have different sound controlling different things. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Different sound. So if you want it in real time, we go to 3D view full. Almost like real time because it's pretty heavy stuff. So this one is using the randomized input vertices, and this one using a more elaborate method. We have control over the noise. If I change the noise into cell, for example, cell noise, I get this kind of design, and then I can randomize the seed, and here multiplier. This is for the speed of the noise changing, I think. We can also control the strength of the noise, which is right here. So let's try that. The effect's kind of similar anyway, but once the noise kind of reduced down, it settles. It goes back to the original. You see, we can scrub this, this is really nice. We can scrub just the way, because it's already baked. It's not real time, but it's okay in this case. We don't need some kind of real time effects. I like how it settles. Yeah, what else? Actually, let's draw something with grease pencil, and then just test this setup. So if I go back to this guy instead of circle, gonna go back to this vertices and then edges. Okay, this guy still working fine. Okay, now I just need to draw something, or maybe write something. I'm gonna use grease pencil, hold D, and then just type in, Actually, that's too long. I'm just gonna write ES for BLENDERSUSHI, and then convert grease pencil into Bezier curve, and hopefully this does the job. Okay, cool. So we have this curve, and then I'm gonna set origin to geometry. Okay, we have this guy, and we just simply get it, and we have the result over here. And we just run the music. I like these effects, like overlapping effects. This is because of this guy. If I just have a single line, it looks like this. Multiple lines, I can definitely more elaborate. What else can I do here? The noise. Okay, cell noise, Voronoi. We only have this quotation mark limited possibilities. However, you can always add and create your own functions, You can use Python or whatever. Blender one actually smoother and faster than Perlin. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This example is very simplistic. However, yeah, I just want to keep it simple. This is using this method, you can create much more complicated and then, I don't know, elaborate kind of design, and with nice render, it's gonna be like looking so cool. But the idea is, as long you understand this simple way to create it, it's you can create more complex stuff. The problem, I think, with the complex stuff is you need more computing power, you need extra time to render, you need all this kind of extra stuff that I don't have time for it. So, but here, as long we know the basic, you can, whenever you need it, you can create a more complex setup. So, yeah, there you go. You have control over a lot of things. You can even resample the lines and to get this result. Yeah, I guess pretty much it for this live noding video. If you have any question, feedback, just let me know down below. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.